Hi guys, it's me again, Fly with me FPV, and what I have here is the TX16S from RADIOMASTER. I've been waiting for this radio for a while because of the COVID stuff. It took a while for Hobbies to bring it in, but anyways, it's here. It's a multi-protocol radio that can be bound to Spectrum, DSM, DSMX, Futaba, Devo, FR Sky, Fly Sky receivers, and it has a bay at the back to support the Crossfire Micro. This is not going to be an extensive review of the radio because I only got it. It's going to be my first impression and if it's worth getting it. So if you don't want to watch the rest of the video, that's fine. I'm going to tell you now why this is worth 210 Canadian dollars. That's the retail price. Check it out at snhobbies.com. But I'm going to say for $210, you get a multi-protocol radio that can be bound with a bunch of receivers out there. Second, it has a colored 4 by 3 screen, which is, I believe, it's also touchscreen. But until 2.4 OpenTX comes out, and I think that will be specific to the TX16S, it's disabled. Third, this already has Hall effect gimbals, which in my opinion, it's smoother. And I say that because when I was using my, on the original gimbals on my X9D, you can see when you plug in a Betaflight, under the receiver, you see, jitter there. So, one of the things that I noticed when switching to Hall effect is that, that's pretty stable. And it also, I think, much smoother when you fly, like on your control sticks. So those are the 3 that I think is the value of this radio. Let's not talk about the feel of the plastic, if the buttons click nice. It's just those 3 things that I think is really worth 210 Canadian dollars. So if you're shopping for a radio upgrade or you're starting out, I strongly suggest you look at this radio because I think as a newbie or someone starting into the hobby, this is something that you can use, and you can use as you progress, whether you fly quads, planes, or whatever. There's a lot of switches. If you notice, if you're flying quads, I don't think you would need this whole bunch of switches. You got 2 position switch here, you got a momentary switch, and everything else is 3 position. You got pots here, you got dials, sliders here. So yeah, lots of switches. Trim settings here. So I've seen videos or read comments about how it feels cheap when you touch it, plastic. That's all probably opinion of the owner or whoever's gonna buy this radio. For me, I focus on functionality, and it works for me. Like if this one I pinch, I believe this is better suited for people who thumb because of the anti-slip grip, how it's positioned at the back. You see that? Oops, sorry. If you are thumbing, you can see that there's a notch there that you could put your index finger and use it as leverage when you thumb. So it's perfect. But I'm not saying, pinchers can't use this. I'm a pincher, and I've been using this in the sim for a while now, and I love it. I am comfortable holding it, so not a big problem. Now, switches, when you click them, they're pretty solid. It's not like rubber coated or anything, but it works. So it's not, when you press it, it doesn't like drop off this faceplate. A lot of the reviews are comparing this to the jumper version, but I don't have a jumper. And one of the things that was mentioned is that this wheel, or they call it a jog wheel, it has a metal thing inside. So, you know, that's a good upgrade, I guess, because you would be pressing this button a lot, which I will go through quickly. So that is good. Sweet buttons here. These buttons here are ready to navigate what you want to do to configure. I'm gonna go to the top of the radio. I don't know if you can see that, but one of the things that I really like about this radio is that the USB-C port is there. So this is where you plug your PC if you're using it with a SIM. So I've used it with Velocidrone and it works perfectly. When you plug it in, there's a pop-up that would show here if you want to use it as a joystick or storage, or I think those are the two options. You just choose joystick and go to Velocidrone. Voila, it detects it right immediately. And there's also another USB port there at the bottom. If you can see that, that's for charging. So one of the things too, oops, I think I popped the SD card out. One of the things that I really like about this radio too is that you can just plug into the USB-C and it starts charging those 18650 batteries. You don't have to pull them out. However, it's not going to be as fast if you have a dedicated charger for your lithium-ion batteries. Because I haven't tried it yet, but from what I've seen online, it's 2 amp, I think, is the maximum that you can pump to the batteries. But don't quote me on that, I haven't tried it. But just the idea of having to plug this in and not pull the battery out, it's already a big thumbs up for me. Now, let's go at the back. Let me power this off for a bit. It runs OpenTX, by the way. I forgot that to mention that at the start of the video. Now, there's a JR module bay there for whatever module you want. I'm going to use my micro TX Crossfire to go there. This is the battery bay. Doesn't come with battery again. You have to purchase that separately. These are what I use with my goggles. 3500 milliamp hours, so I got 2, and it will be in series. So yeah, that's your capacity. So with my X9D, sorry, I use 2500 milliamp hour pack, and it will last me a few weeks of, you know, 2-3 days flying every week. So I don't know, I have to test this and see how long it would last before I need to charge it. So it connects there by a balance lead. Just plug it in there and you should be good to go. And you don't have to, the idea is you don't have to pop this open, because you can charge the batteries from that USB port that I showed earlier. Now, one of the cool things about this, or I really like, is that there's you know, anti-slip grip pads here, and at as I said earlier, at the bottom. On my X9D, I had to purchase a separate sleeve, a silicone sleeve, so that it doesn't slip. So you know, this one comes with that already. I'm gonna open this because I will show you guys how you can adjust the tension or the friction of the throttle. For me, it came in not so much friction, so I need to adjust that. It's only four screws here and 2 screws hex there, and you should need to pop it open. Now, with this screen, if you're coming from FR Sky, especially the X9D, or any OpenTX or transmitter that runs OpenTX, you will not have a hard time figuring out how to navigate to the screen here or the menus. By the way, this did not come with a manual. It just came with a, as you've seen earlier in the video, it's a quick start guide. If you wanted to get the full manual, please go to RADIOMASTERTX16S. The manual is well written, in my opinion. I read a few pages. English is good, easy to understand, and you just follow it and you should be able to navigate through how to use the radio. Now these buttons here, basically this is you press and hold, and these are the page buttons. You go to the right if you want to go back, and the return button. Now this is the model button. If you press it, it goes to your models, and I only have, I think, 2 models here, but anyways, press return. If you press and hold for 1 or 2 seconds, this jog wheel at the bottom, it will not work here at the top. It will ask you if you wanted to select models. I got one here for the sim and one I just created for this video. So press it again, and you could create a model if you want to. So that's basically the functionality of these buttons. It's not really hard to understand what they do, and once you get into the model that you want, it's pretty much like any OpenTX RAN radio. You go to these options, outputs, curves, and all that good stuff from OpenTX. And if you want to go down, you just use the jog wheel, press in, and then you can change settings. So anyways, I'm not going to go in deep on the usage of this radio. It's all documented in a well-written manual, which I will put a link on the description area of this video. Now let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, so there's 4 screws here and 2 hex screws there that you need to remove. You also, if you need to pop it open, I need to pop it open because I need to get some friction on the trowel, because it's too, I don't know, no friction, very less friction. Anyways, and you also need to remove these pads on the side if you want to remove this back part. So it's very easy to remove actually, because there's no ribbon cables attaching this part to that part, unlike the X9D. Now this is the one that I need to tighten so that I can get some friction on the trowel. Now wiring layout is pretty clean. There's a lot of space. I actually wanted to test the power out, but I don't want to remove this connector to attach an SMA or an RPSMA. I forgot. Anyways, that's to attach it to a power meter, but we'll probably do that sometime in the future. So yeah, this is the internal module for those different protocols. LCD. Yeah, it's pretty clean. So yeah, 4 screws, 2 hex screws if you need to pop it open. If you need to adjust that, pretty easy, and make sure that you remove this, because yeah, it took me a while to figure out that I need to remove this in order for this whole back part to pop out. And make sure you remove the battery, because it is actually connected there. You might just yank it and you destroy the balance leads on the battery bay or battery module. Anyways, that's it. Pretty straightforward. 6 screws basically to remove the back part and get inside the the unit. Guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you just watched, please do support my channel by subscribing and clicking that bell button so you get notified when I upload more videos. So again, this is available at snhobbies.com. Please check their website. This currently sells at 210 Canadian dollars or 209.99 plus taxes. So yeah, I will upload more videos as I continue to use this, and if there's anything that I found out, I'll make sure that I create a video so that you guys get informed. Again, thank you, and till the next video.